Yeah, I'm trying to make
Mm.
this live on YouTube.
Arogya's session is going on.
Okay.
Yep, we are live in the session. Okay, welcome everybody. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing great and having great fun in the weekend. And welcome to the COE Pro Bono webinars. And this weekend we have a wonderful Vaishnavi Muralikrishnan who has taken up and delivered multiple sessions in the previous year and throughout this year as well regarding many important aspects such as building your discipline and also overcoming your setbacks. And there are many insightful sessions which she has delivered over the time. And in the past week, she has delivered one more session, which is a part of our book club, read, discuss, and join the book club. So, uh, in the previous session, she has discussed regarding the breaking down of Atomic Habits book, chapter one, and she has wonderfully revised every key aspects, every key concepts of the chapter, and also how one can build their small habits and develop them into a discipline, and maybe which can ultimately become their own personality and also will may help in over the time of their careers. And today's session would be about the second chapter and maybe upcoming concepts of atomic habits. So let's wait and watch how she will be breaking down the atomic habits. Over to you, Vaishnavi. Thank you for taking out your time.
Yeah. Thank you, Prem, for that wonderful introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Muralikrishnan, and this is the second, let's say, part of breaking down the atomic habits. We are all part of the book club, and I wanted to actually work on the purpose of the book club to get people to read. And this session is not just for people who are reading or who have read the book, but it is also for people who have never picked up a book in their entire life. So if you could like join in and participate in the conversations, maybe that would make you pick up the book from the COE's library. So yeah, and Prem will be sharing the book club's invitation with you. Let's dive right into the session. So today we will be talking about the second chapter of the Atomic Habits. In the first chapter, we had the basic introduction of how habits are formed and how we could, inculcate those practices of forming a new habit into our everyday life, into our professional life. So this chapter, second chapter, is actually very short. It is the first law, as the author calls it, for habit formation. He breaks it down into 3 to 4 parts, sub topics. In the first topic, he talks about awareness, self-awareness. Self-awareness is where, in this context, is where you address your current habits. Like you wake up, you drink tea, you prepare your lunch, breakfast, you go to work. So we have all these responsibilities, and through those responsibilities, we have formed ourselves chain of habits. And the first thing that he addresses is to become aware of your everyday routine so that you know which are good habits, which are bad habits, which are the ones that you're trying to break away from, which are the ones that you're trying to build upon. So let's say you have a routine. Say, you wake up and then you make your bed, or you don't make. You want to make your bed, but you're not, getting that into your practice. And now, you want to start meditating. You want to find a time to meditate in your everyday routine, and you're not able to find the time. So what you do is you just pick up a paper, or just pick up the notes app in your phone, or whichever is convenient, and you write down your routine, your habits, like getting up, freshening up, and then you make your tea, your breakfast, you cook. and then you change into your work clothes and you drive from home. So you write all these habits down, and alongside those habits, you have to mark a negative or a positive symbol, and then there has to be an equal to sign which says neutral. So if it's a negative symbol, is what you're putting near a habit, it means that it is a habit you're trying to break away from. It could be something you are doom scrolling 5 minutes or 10 minutes before you, uh, after you have your breakfast and before going to work, you just sit in your couch and then you scroll Instagram for a few minutes, and maybe that's making you uh, go late to your office. So that's something you're trying to break, but it's very incorporated into your everyday routine that it is difficult to break away from. So you are not aware of it, but every day you might be getting late to work, and in order to identify why you're doing something, why you're getting late to work, you have to first identify everything that you're doing before reaching office, from the time you get up till you sit in your desk. Once you know what you're doing, once you're aware of every single action that you're taking before the one that you're trying to address, you might be able to find the problem areas. And this is specifically focused for breaking bad habits. We first break the bad habits. So to do that, we have to identify the bad habits, right? Um, Another example that I could think of is getting distracted at work. When you're working, there could be notifications in your phone, and you're prone to pick up your phone often. And 5 or 10 minutes, it could be very little time, as much as 3 minutes you spend per notification. But imagine you might get 10 to 15 notifications during your work, and that might actually distract you from your work, and eventually it would delay the work, and you might not able to finish your work. It could have been your work could have been finished by you, maybe let's say before 4 p.m., and you could have an extra hour or two before leaving office. But because you keep getting distracted, your work gets delayed, and then it extends to overtime. So you might not able to identify it just by thinking about what am I doing wrong, but breaking down your everyday habits, even between your work, or noticing the small things and actually addressing it, and not just, okay, maybe I should not pick up my phone. That is not going to work. So you have to address it in a way, I am picking up my phone, I am getting these notifications. So when I get the notification sound, I'm picking up the phone and I'm opening the chats or emails or whatever it is. So you have to break it down step by step. You have to identify it, you have to note it down, and then you write a positive or negative sign alongside it, and then it helps you identify the problem areas and then address it. So this is very practical in my opinion, compared to most of the advices to breaking bad habits. This is a really good advice. I might even start addressing it, see, using it in my everyday work. So yeah, that is the first part of the first law, self-awareness. The second was something that I have always been, introduced to. The second was setting. I mean, the author does not explicitly say SMART goals, but this is something you can always remember whenever you're setting goals. This is super effective. I live by this. I was taught this in school when I was like 12 or 13 years old, like seventh, eighth standard or something, and this has been greatly useful, and I can swear by this technique. It is called setting SMART goals. Many of you might already be aware of it because it is a popular thing, and the author does not explicitly mention it as SMART goals, but he says specific goals. So SMART goals is you have SMART, right? In SMART, the first is being specific. Being specific as to what you want to do. In We all have these goals, that is, we have to eat healthier, we have to exercise more, but they are not specific. Being specific means when you want to get healthier, or when you want to exercise more, it has to sound like this. It has to sound something like this. It has to go like, I'm going to eat more vegetables today. That is still not specific. So you say it has to be even more specific. Like when you're leaving from work or when you're doing grocery shopping, you have to specifically pick out, carrots or spinach or whichever vegetable that you're going to pick up. You have to mention it. I'm going to pick up these many kilograms of vegetables, and I'm going to make this for Monday or this for Tuesday. I'm going to eat this particular vegetable. So it has to be to that level of specificity is what we have to aim for. That is S for being specific. And the next is measurable. So this is very important. Your goals have to be measurable, um, in the sense that I will eat um, let's say one fruit a day. I will eat two bananas a day. So it has to have that a quantifiable aspect to the goal itself. Say if you're learning, if you're upskilling, if you're trying to learn a new Coursera course, or if you're watching YouTube sessions, or if you're joining COE sessions, you have to make it measurable in the sense that you have to commit to watching 2 sessions a week or 3 sessions a week, or in a day I will watch 30 minutes of these courses or 20 minutes of these courses. This has to be very measurable. So you put a number to it, and when you start adding numbers to your goals, you know that it is achievable. And that is the third A for A. That is what it stands for, achievable. It your goals should not be vague. It should not sound like I have to get rich, right? I have to get in shape in 2025. That is very vague. How are you getting into shape? Are you saying you're gonna have you're gonna lose weight, or if you're someone underweight, are you gonna gain weight? It has to be something that is achievable. You cannot just say I'm going to get in shape, or I'm going to get rich, or I'm going to get smarter. That's not gonna work. It has to be something achievable. You have to say I'm going to upskill in this particular tech stack. I'm going to upskill in Python. You cannot you cannot be vague and say I'm going to become a programmer. Being anyone can be a programmer, and programmer is very an it's an umbrella term. So it has to be an achievable, and it cannot be. You can say even attainable. A stands for attainable or achievable, whichever suits. And it has to be very realistic also. You cannot say I'm going to learn master 4 programming languages in 6 months. That is not going to be attainable. You have to know your limits, and you have to set goals that are actually doable. So that is A. S for being specific, M for being measurable, A for being achievable, attainable, and then R. R is relevancy. Your goal has to be relevant to your purpose, to your journey, or to whichever process you're undertaking. So let's say um, you want to, go to the you want to go to the gym and you want to work out more, and you have to do things that addresses your health. And the goals that you set in your everyday goals has to be relevant to what you want to do, to where you in which direction you're growing. The we are often distracted by several things, and we want to become a lot of things. At work there are demands, in our personal lives there are demands, and we have demands that we set for ourselves. So whatever goal you set, it has to be relevant to your own cause. You have to prioritize which is important. Is it your work life, or is it aspects in your personal life, or is it your body, is it your mental health which needs addressing right now? And you have to set goals in a way that it is relevant to your progress. And that is what the R relevancy means in setting SMART goals. And the last is T. T stands for time bound goals. It has to be time bound. So when you set achievable, relevant goals, they also have to be time bound to create the sense of urgency, or to create the sense of meaningfulness, or to make it look attainable and organized. It has to be time bound. Let's say you're learning Python, or if you're doing SQL, you're upskilling in other database technologies, or whichever tech stack you're choosing, it has to be time bound. You have to commit to learning the fundamentals, or let's say if you're learning data structures in a programming language, you have to say, I'm going to cover these many data structures in the next 30 days. So you have to add that time aspect to it, as well as the measurable access. So these are two different things. Time is different, and the quantifiable metric is different. Let's say you have to practice 30 lead code questions in the next 30 days. So when you say something like that, when you make an implementation plan, you actually commit to doing that and getting it done. So this is not just to make the goal setting attractive. This is research based actual technique that has helped people to commit to their goals and achieve it. When you set goals like this, the probability is higher that you will commit yourself to the goal and actually get it done. So try this when you're or struggling to read, or when you're struggling to go to bed on time. You tell to yourself, I'm going to sleep at 9 p.m. every day, and I'm going to turn off all my devices 30 minutes before, and I'm going to stick to this habit for the next 20 days, 25 days. So that is how you set goals for personal development, be it professional development. The setting of smart goals applies to every single aspect. So it doesn't have to be something productive, or it doesn't have to be something creative. It could be anything. So I swear by this, and you go and try this yourself, and tell to me directly if it is not working, because I can swear that it's gonna work. And that is about setting goals, smart goals. And next, he talks about environment changes. So you know how this is something we are all maybe aware of, or something that we should be doing, but we're not doing. But this is your cue to start doing. Um, Environment could break or form a new habit. It is as simple as not doing your work in your bed or studying at your bed. So when you're learning, when you're working, you should not work in your bed, because that's going to disturb your sleep. People used to say that, right? And that is true, because if you have a disturbed sleep cycle, or if you're always thinking about work after you go to your bed, and that could be because you're not dedicating a particular environment for work related jobs, and you're bringing your work into every environment, so that wherever you go, your mind is occupied with it. So you're not able to leave that part of your life behind and actually get to your other. And if you're worried about things in your personal life, and you're not able to concentrate at work, that could be because you're bringing aspects from your personal life, and thoughts from your personal life into your work, maybe into your office, and where you sit, you're thinking about it, and you're talking to your family about it. So you have to separate the environments in where you address your problems, or where you perform those activities. If it could, in the sense of breaking a habit, you leave your work to your work environment, you leave your sleep and cooking to your home environment. In place of forming new habits, he quotes an example for building a reading habit. You say that you let's say you are trying to read every day, every night before you go to bed. 30 minutes of reading is what you're planning to do. And now every day when you wake up, you place your book. When you're leaving your bed, you place your book with the bookmark, or whichever page you're reading, you place it near your bed. So when you return from work, from your everyday chores and routines, you go to your bed, and there's the book waiting for you. So that is how you build an environment. You create the environment, you modify it to wrap itself around the habit that you're trying to form. So let's say you're trying to meditate more. You have to bring that into your everyday routine, right? So in that sense, you form a habit, and you set a goal for yourself, saying every day after work, after taking a shower, I'll do 60 seconds or 2 minutes of meditation in my room, on my bed, before returning to your chores, or making dinner, or whatever it is you do. So there is the 2 minute or 30-second gap between you leaving from after getting back, getting into your house clothes or your pajamas, and then you go to your kitchen. and you take a 2 minute or 30-second gap, you sit in your room and then you meditate. So you are not forcing yourself into a new habit by making extra taking extra efforts. You're inculcating the habit into your regular routine. You're not going into a separate room very far away. You're not going to the terrace, or you're not going into you're not trying to meditate in your 9 to 6 job, right? If you say you're going to try and meditate into your when you're at work, it might not be possible. You might not get the privacy at work, or it might be difficult with all the emails and calls that you have to attend. So even the 2 minute and 30 second could prove to be challenging. But at your home, in your bed, no one's going to disturb you for the 2 minute window. So that is how you form a habit, by creating an environment for yourself. But the environment you create should also match the goal that you're trying to set. So when you're uh, an example of this is, um, to create an environment without distractions, you have to remove your phone. So I used to get distracted at work with the notification of phone. I would just, every time I send out a mail, every time I finish a little task, I would just pick up my phone and I would check if there are messages, or I would scroll. I would go to YouTube Shorts. I used to do that for a few months, and then I realized this is actually delaying my work. What I did was I would put the phone away. I cannot force myself to not look at, let's say, shorts, or my Twitter feed, but that I'm trying to become this idealistic, self-determined, this very motivated, controlled personality who does not give in to distraction. That is not, that is a good thing if you're that kind of person, but it is not possible to be the very disciplined person. So what you have to do is you prevent yourself from, you remove yourself from the situation altogether. So I put my phone away. I put it in my bag. As soon as I go to my desk, I would open my work laptop. I would put my phone back into my bag, and I would not pick it out. It would not be in my sight at all until I'm actually taking a break. When actual breaks from my desk, not just staring away from laptop. At first I used to just take break every 5 minutes, but now I'm like, if it's a break, it's going to be a proper 10 or 15-minute break, and only then I would pick up my phone. But I would not sit in my desk when I'm looking at my phone. If I'm going to look at my phone, it's going to be away from my desk. I was very specific about it, and that helped a lot. So every time at my desk, I have not uh, I have I've been getting distracted less. I have been picking up my phone less. So that has helped. So this also applies to, if you're trying to break a bad habit, like if you're trying to not smoke, you cannot just be with people who smoke and have conversations with them while they are smoking, and then just tell yourself, I'm going to control myself. I'm going to control every single urge I get. You have to remove yourself from the triggers, from the environment that is going to tempt you to pick up the bad habit. That is how you break from a bad habit, because environments matter. Even when you're trying to break a bad habit, there are cues everywhere around you. So as soon as you open the door to your house, the first cue could be removing your shoes. Opening the door is the cue, and that's going to tell your brain, hey, we have just opened the door. The next thing to do is remove your shoes. Your brain is an autopilot, so it's going to do what comes next. So if you're going to go out with your friends and they're smoking, you're going to smoke. That you cannot help yourself. And it is very hard, and it is very challenging to be in an environment full of triggers and just constrain yourself to not perform a particular activity. And that is why you have to take up this environment concept very seriously. If you're trying to form a habit, you have to very consciously build a suitable environment for it. And if you're trying to break a habit, you have to remove yourself from environments, from cues, from triggers that would prevent you from breaking the bad habit. And this is pretty much it. The first law of habit formation or habit breaking is very simple. You have to be aware of what habits that are in your everyday life. It could be, you could not be very intentionally doing it. Your brain is on autopilot on most of the time, and you have to pay attention to it and note it down so that you identify the good ones and the bad ones in your everyday habits. And the next part is setting smart goals to, you know, actually make your goals attainable so that you get it done. And the third part is building an environment or breaking an environment surrounding your goals. That is pretty much it. It's a very short chapter, but it's a very practical one. So if you're gonna read the book, you could just start from, you know, the first law, which is the second chapter, is where he addresses this. And I would love it if you could share any of the habits that you're trying to break, or if you have been successful. You didn't necessarily have to have read the book, but if you have been successful in your own way in breaking a habit or in, you know, forming a new habit, I would be thrilled to hear it from you, because I'm always open to, you know, ideas and how to get things done. So yeah, um, it's open for anyone to join in the conversation. We have a lot of new people here. Anyone who want to share what they have in their bag, what they have in their bucket list, things to do, goals, to-do lists.
Yeah, I have certain courses planned, and like the doom scrolling part, I want to reduce it over a period of time. So looking into those stuff. So and I procrastinate a bit. So yeah, looking to reduce that also. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Doom scrolling is like so bad, but it is also highly addictive, and it's gonna destruct your productivity in a very, very uh, uh, tremendous way. So what helped is putting the phone away. I would just put the phone in a cupboard and just lock it until I have something. So one thing that we have to make sure is no none of your study materials are in your phone, because sometimes I have references, sometimes I have books or papers or things that I have downloaded onto my phone but have forgotten to transfer it to my laptop. So I find myself going picking up my phone often, even during studies, even if it's study related or work related. So it helps if all your materials are in an environment that is distraction free, which is your laptop, because we chances are you don't open your browser and doom scroll because it is not very convenient. Doom scrolling is made and built for phone screens so that your entire screen is occupied by the content you're watching and you don't get distracted from doom scroll. And that is the idea behind me telling you to transfer your study materials to your laptop or to any other screen that you will not find yourself scrolling in. That has very much helped. So put your phone away, lock it away for 30 minutes. So do it in very small incremental time windows, because let's say let's putting your phone away for 60 minutes is a challenge itself. You cannot, like, I cannot do that. I I at the maximum amount of focus that I can give to something is like 40 to 45 minutes. 60 minutes is something I aspire towards. I'm trying to become that person who can be, forget her phone, forget everything else for 60 minutes and just focus on what I'm doing. I mean, it applies for movies or series that I'm watching, but as long as studies are concerned, it's 30 to 40 minutes is what I could give. So yeah, is there I could see a lot of people here, and I want to know how what you're finding challenging in your everyday routine. So are you not finding time for things for yourself, or how's it going for everyone?
Hello. Hi, Vaishnavi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is
So
it working?
my challenge
Yeah.
is like I plan the things for learning Power BI or something, do something for a month or quarter or something for daily
Mhm.
basis. I plan everything, but I'm not able to initiate that planning. So can you just elaborate how we can initiate that? Everything is ready on paper. How can I learn? what should I learn, where should I learn, everything is. But initiation of that particular schedule.
Yeah, so what is your everyday like? What do you do from the start to the end? When does your work get over?
So my work starts at 2 p.m. in the noon till 11 p.m. in the night. This is my office hours. And my like wake up routine is very vague. I don't sometimes 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's not fixed. Depends on when I have a good sleep and I just wake up. That's what. But I plan something for meditation as well on daily basis. I try to sit for 1 hour. It happens twice or thrice in a week, 2 days in a week. It doesn't happen, and gradually it happens. Like I'm not sitting for a long month as well. The same thing with Power BI or something learning itself. I initiate learning, try to learn, just open Udemy or if I have a lot of Coursera and LinkedIn learning licenses as well. Everything is ready, but the starting is something I can do, but I'm not able to make it consistent, make like discipline for.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, please elaborate. Thank you.
Yeah, so one thing that I could definitely say for sure is you will not find time to study after work because it ends at 11 p.m., right? So you might want to just get into your bed right away. So that is not an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, so morning is your time. So let's say you wake up at 10. Let's have the latest wake up time. It's even if it's 10, I think once you, between your work or before you get ready to work, you will not be able to find time. So somewhere in the morning to afternoon window before you get start getting ready to work is where you have to find time to learn. That's like the very obvious thing anyone could tell you. But I think when you have everything ready, I am sure there could be a lot of courses on your list. There are multiple courses and multiple book resources because when I started, I used to hoard, I have a list. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 100 plus courses.
Yeah, that is a problem. That is definitely a problem. Like addressing the root cause is very important. When you have a lot of courses, it becomes very difficult to pick the one that you want to do right away. So that is what you have to do. You have to pick the one that is very shortest of them all, but something that is, like an introduction kind of, even if it's short, it has to be very fundamental because you're starting to learn, or even if you're trying to master the, let's say, intermediate level or whichever it is, you have to pick up the fundamental, filter the fundamental courses first, and then filter the ones that are short, let's say 1 week courses. It's something with 8 or 9 chapters, or let's say even 10 chapters, but don't pick anything greater than that. So you pick the one with the shorter number of chapters with very minimal um, projects or actionable items, and you just try to complete that. Because I can understand for someone starting to learn new technology, it is the urge is there to just cover everything else because you don't want to miss out on anything and you want to learn everything quickly. That is not going to be possible. So my only advice is before finding a time or anything, just pick up one course, filter the basics, pick up one course that is that is practical and doable, and that could be completed in under a week. And then you try to stick with it for 5 days a week, 5 days in a week, and then take Saturday off, Sunday off, and then let's see how it's going to work out for you in the next week. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I will try for it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I think Prajyot had something to share.
Hi, Vaishnavi. Thanks for your session.
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, because of the work schedule, actually we have a lot of work and we are doing actually 14 hours a daily work. So actually, I always prepare to plan for the preparing for my interviews and everything. but still not I am able to get a time. So, and I am one kind of person, I am not never says no to anyone, and that becomes very critical for me to get time for myself and my study. So how to come out from this situation, I don't know, because for first few years I said yes to all the things. Now when I say no to the in front of anyone, they said right now he why he is being like that. So that is the thing what happening with me. So how I can tackle this situation and focus on my interview preparation.
So when you're saying you cannot say no to people, is it in the context of your work or is it
Yeah,
personal
because
lives?
itself made a habit of saying for yes for 2 years, right? Now that becomes now situation right now they are thinking now I am skipping from my work, right? But this is not a case. I need to have a do my preparation and need to have a career growth, right? So not getting a time because of uh, work hours are too much, almost more than 12 14. So how I can tackle this situation and start preparing for myself and my interviews.
I have to turn to someone more experienced. And Prem, are you there? Prem, Sai. Okay, I think he's gone offline. Anyways, um, saying no to people at work could be very difficult. I totally understand you because saying no means you're disrespecting someone. Saying no would mean that yeah, like you said, skipping your responsibilities, that you're not doing something that you've been literally paid to do, you're there to do, and you're saying no. How can you say no? It's an abomination, right? One thing that I have done that has helped me, not in saying no to people, but in time of in the sense of cutting down time, is prioritizing. I know this comes very easily. It's easier said than done, but prioritizing is very important in your work. I am sure there are things that could be that has to be done right away, things that have to be addressed today, and things that could be addressed in the next morning, and things that could be addressed in the next evening. So you have to get that kind of clarity from the people who are expecting work from you. You have to make it a point to every time work is assigned to you, every time someone's asking you to do something, get the time frame from them. When do you need this to be done? And if it's in conflict with your existing schedule, say they're asking it to get it done right away, like you have to do it now, because to them the actual work might could be due 3 days later, but they could expect it from you in 24 hours, in less than 24 hours. In that case, ask them if the time expectations, if the window that they are giving is negotiable, or try to negotiate it, because it is very important to understand the potential that you have. You could only do so much in your beaten work or personal life, or studying, upskilling, or everyday work, or your housework, or whatever it may be. This applies to everything. There's only so much you could do. We are, as humans, we have limitations. Vaishnavi has limitations. There is only so much Vaishnavi could do. There's only so much Pradyut could do. So we have our own personal limitations. We are not built to work in an unlimited potential. We have a limited potential. We have to be conservative in that, so that we could distribute the potential we have for different things of our life. And in that sense, make sure to always in mail or in chat, if they're chatting with you or if they're talking to you, always get the time frame from them, the time window or the due date or whatever the term that you're using. Get it in writing so that it is there and you don't forget it. Because when someone talks to you and says, I want it by 6 p.m., I want it in the next 3 hours, or I want it next Friday or next Thursday, it might slip away from your mind because you're already working on too much, and it is very hard to keep track. So always get the expected time from them, and try to negotiate it so that you don't come across as someone who's saying no, because you don't have to say no. If it's something that you could do, if it's work that you could do, you could definitely get it done. And in that sense, try to negotiate the time with them. Say you have just try to find ways to talk to them, saying like, I'm happy to do this work for you. I could definitely get it done. Promise them that you could do it, but hey, this time will not work for me because I'm occupied with this. Or if you don't want to say what you're occupied, you could just say this time this will take this much time, and break the process down and explain to them that this will not work and this will need these many hours to work, and let them know that you are available for work, but you have in a negotiable way. That is what I could offer you at this time. One is prioritizing work, and when you're prioritizing, you need to know the time frame for each time window for each task. And in order to know the time window, you have to discuss it with your own people. You have to negotiate it, discuss it, get the time thing, and then have a record for that saying, as discussed, you can expect this by next Thursday or next month or whatever it is. Put it in writing, put it in your schedule, to do list, or whatever it is, and try to cut down the hours at work, and you know focus on that before you could focus on interviews or upskilling, because even before getting a new job or trying to upskill yourself, mastering new technology, it is very important that you have your mental health right when you're working, putting in a lot of hours at work, and your personal life might also get attacked. So it is better that you right now, maybe for a month, try working out ways in which you could get all the jobs done, but in a very healthier way. I hope that helped, and we could discuss in the next session how it works for you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, is there anyone else who would want to, share the challenges? And even if it's not something I can help with, I'm absolutely all in for listening. So, yeah.
Um, Hi Vaishnavi, this is Sudhir. I think listening to the previous person's challenges, I felt like I was in the same boat sometime back. Then I started to use OneNote, wherein I try to record all the requests that come in and make sure you keep a track of it. Even though people tend to forget, we tend to make sure that, okay, every day you open a new note on the page. You have multiple tabs. So every day you can put that. And for a couple of days, you can observe, okay, where can I utilize my time properly? You can look at the past events and you can figure out, okay, can I tell them that, okay, this is not conveyed to me by my superior, and it is not visible to him even though I'm working on it. So is it really important because it didn't come in the correct order? So maybe OneNote would be helpful to jot down and keep a journal like that so that he can get it done.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is
at least he
great
can save
advice.
some time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really solid advice. So you have to know where the request comes from also. If it's something from your manager, or from your colleague, or from the clients, or whichever levels of
Mhm.
your superiors, it is very important to be aware of that so you know which to address first. That is great advice, Sudhir. Yeah,
Okay.
I could use
Thank
that also.
Thank you.
you. Yeah, but OneNote is very helpful. That's what I figured out because even Notepad or something, we tend to close it without saving sometimes. But OneNote, it automatically saves whatever you put in there.
I use OneNote too, but I use it to keep track of all the SQL query commands,
Query. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I organize
Yeah, I
it
mean, you
by
can open different
months.
chapters, right? Yeah, you can open different chapters. So yeah, but you can utilize the maximum with that. That's what I felt like. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the Microsoft apps are really good. You could try that OneNote. And speaking of recording things, I have to insist on recording the tasks that you complete every day. So if by any chance people um comment on you not being enough or not getting enough work done, you could always pull up your everyday schedule, the records, and then say, hey, this is what I've worked on, and this has taken this much time. Now, put down the number of minutes that it has taken, 30 minutes, 120 minutes, alongside the activity, so that you have a record of what you're doing every day, and you could show it to someone else. Because if that is something that you're worried about, people commenting on your work ethics or how much you're working, this could also be helpful.
Yeah, we tend to forget it very quickly. In a couple of days, you don't remember what I have done a couple of days back, but yeah, eventually it will help you out.
Yeah, it's very important to record every single work that you do, because it's just that kind of an environment. You have to be accountable, even if you're making mistakes. You even if it's a mistake something someone else had done, and you have no part in it at all. You could just say, "Hey, if I had worked on it, I have a journal here, or I have a sheet or Excel sheet or OneNote, whichever it is, where I record every single task that I do, so that you could bring it up every chance you get. And if you're trying to talking about yourself, or if you're trying to highlight your achievements, the quarterly achievements review or productivity review, whichever your company does, you could bring up this sheet and say, hey, this is what I've worked on. I've put in these many extra hours, or I've worked on these many hours every day with just it's very helpful. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. And also the other thing that I used to do is like on the Teams Messenger, right? I changed my status to red
Hmm.
so that people just tend to come in and walk in when I'm doing something serious. I don't want to get distracted. And if they ping me, I tell that I'm in a meeting. Even though I'm working on something seriously, I don't want to get distracted. So I block the time, no distractions. So if someone pings me, okay, ping me after a certain amount of time, or I'll get back to you. Don't extend the conversation.
Yeah. So when I first started changing the statuses, the available, away, or busy, I used to think that being available is my utmost responsibility, because if only the managers or people in higher
Right.
positions could use the busy
Right.
status. But turns out you can use it to block time for yourself, because everyone who uses Teams are well
Teams.
aware that
Right.
if someone has the busy thing, they will definitely respond later. The response will be delayed,
Right.
so they might not come to you for the work at all in the first place. So they might not know
Yeah.
they're already doing something else. They might not respond to me immediately, and I want this to be done. So let's move on to the next person who's available. That's what they would think. So it is very helpful
Okay.
to use that
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah. In some locations, they also block it. You can't change the statuses. So in that case, you tend to, what we did was like you create your own meeting invite on the Outlook, and when it gets into the meeting mode, it changes the status.
That is useful advice. That is very important to block
Yeah.
the time. Yeah,
Right.
that's actually helpful.
Yeah.
And that also comes along along the lines of multitasking, where we had a discussion, I think last month, where we keep distracting ourselves with not just phone or anything else, just with work distractions. We have emails, and then we have other tasks
Yeah.
that needs to complete, and then we get distracted between tasks. Even being trying in order to become productive, it's counterproductive. So we
Yes.
distract ourselves with multiple tasks. So in that case, if you're trying to block time, and if your company doesn't allow you to change status, which is weird, because why would people do that? So yeah, you could use
I can
this.
see Prajat's. I was in the same boat a few years back, and I got a good beating from my doctor saying that, okay, you want your health or you want your tasks to be completed, which are not helpful, means you are going beyond your necessary time limit. You are going way beyond, which is hurting yourself. Do you want that? And just You want to put a full stop to that, or you want to continue carefully. So if your health is deteriorated, you will put a full stop to the work. So just try to manage your time carefully. So that's when I started to look at all these things. Okay, don't spend 14 hours. Uh, After a couple of years, no one will realize what you have spent 14 hours or 18 hours. I don't care. But your health is with you.
Yeah.
Yes, that actually need to manage. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
I know we are all young and we are all very healthy, assuming. But this chain of bad habits and extra hours at work will not matter if your health is not in a good state. So it is very important to prioritize your health, overall mental, physical health, so that you're able to give your fullest at your work, also in your personal life. So that is very important. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sudhir.
No
And
worries. Thank you.
yeah. And what about anyone else who has something to share? And if you're finding this useful, um, you could also recommend books that we could discuss. The book club is accessible to everyone. So if you could put in your suggestions for the next discussion. If you want to talk about something yourself, I would be glad to host sessions where you would be the speaker also, or you want something to discuss something on your behalf, that I'm also open to doing that. Yeah, this more of a discussion, this not a talk.
Yeah. So Vaishnavi, why don't we have a discussion on AI? I know I'm not sure if AI has been discussed.
AI? AI in what sense? AI, there is a lot of
General,
AI.
general for a beginner, or maybe like now the industry talks about AI all over. But what exactly is AI? How is it impacting, or what do you need ABCs? What do you need to know about ABCs of AI? So something like that.
Right, right.
I
So
mean, I
Prem,
know there are so many COE groups out there, but anyone who is knowledgeable, maybe they can take a class on that. I mean, session on that.
okay, AI tech, right? So
Yeah.
Prem, are you there? You could help me out here with everything that COE is offering.
Yeah, I'm here.
Prem is,
Yeah, I'll share the link if like you need the link, right?
sorry, I
Hello.
didn't hear you properly.
So you need the link, right, for the group? Or sorry, I didn't get your question.
No, I was saying if we can have a session like this, interactive session on AI. Do we? It was done already,
Oh,
or
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is. It is going to be scheduled soon. Actually, I guess it will be scheduled for tomorrow. Yeah, we'll update you the details in the group. So, which group are you from? I mean, which group are you currently? Uh,
um,
Tell me.
I mean, there are so many. Sorry. Um, Read, apply, discuss. That's where I use this link right now.
Sure. So yeah, we'll share the updates to you in the same group. So we'll be always sharing the updates regarding the webinar. So all these webinars are pro bono, and we'll share you the details in the group. And
So
I'll also share you the link of another group which where we discuss only regarding the AI and Microsoft Fabric and all these details. So I'll
Oh,
also
that would
share
be
you the
great.
group links for the related topics. Yeah.
So it's I'm in the read, apply, HU group. So maybe you can add them in there.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
I'll update the details.
Yeah.
yeah, so there we have these conversations about AI, about new technologies all the time. Mm,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, so and the people at COE are very helpful. So if you're being very interactive and if you could actually voice out your questions, they'll be so happy to answer your questions. And these sessions are always interactive. And
Yeah.
if you want something to specifically specific subjects to touch upon, you could just request it in the group, or just DM. We'll be happy to talk about it. And may I know
Sure.
what profession you're in? What's your background like? just to get the sense.
Uh, I'm almost like you can compare to Arun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having about 25 years of experience in IT. So
Okay.
I did my bachelor's and master's in engineering in computer science. So it's like,
I mean,
yeah.
may I ask you something? When you have 25 years of experience, is it still relevant for you to introduce yourself with your college degrees?
It's not that. See, people have misconceptions sometimes that where I tend to see it is especially when you are trying to interact with superior people. Okay, they tend to tie how you adapted to the technologies. So let's say if I'm interviewing someone, they will say that okay, I studied in so and so college or so and so degree or whatever engineering. So I see okay, they changed from civil engineering to computer science or some MCA or maybe they took some certifications. So I would like to see how much they are interested in adapting to new technologies. So that's where I tend to ask those questions. Apart from that, it doesn't really matter much. But yeah.
Okay, so and who's trying to get a sense of your adaptability when you're introducing yourself? Because
Oh
I'm
yeah,
very
yeah. I mean,
curious what
means
people.
what I'm trying to say is I have been there in the industry from character user interface to graphical user interface. So that's what I was trying to go there.
Wow,
So you
that is
can
it.
say back from I don't know if you heard about basic Lotus 123 or COBOL and all these things.
Mm.
The oldest
So
technology I have worked with is QBasic.
okay, so yeah, that's after. Yeah,
Okay,
so these are all way beyond.
okay,
Yep.
and yeah,
I
thank you for yeah, Vicky.
I have one question to Sudhir for guidance purpose.
Yeah, Vicky.
From IT side, or you mentioned that we should have some sessions on AI. If
Right.
someone is working as a data analyst side, he is working mostly on Power BI or data visualization or data modeling something. Consider it as a Power BI analyst only. Considering
Okay.
the future, AI is going to affect most of the jobs. So one should, if he want to uh, move further in career, he should move into either he should move into data engineering side or AI side.
See, that's what. There's a misconception that learning AI would suffice, but that's not the case. In AI, there are different subsets. Like
Mm-hmm.
ML is one of the subset. You have agentic AI. You have so many other streams.
Yes.
So when you go there, you have to think in such a way that how your experience and obviously data is important
Mm-hmm.
and ML would make more sense for a data side guy.
Yes, ML is a part of AI, like machine learning, deep learning is all part of.
Right.
Uh,
So you need to focus on that part. And if you want to continue in your same company, then you need to venture out. Okay, you need to ask your superior saying that I can allocate 20% of my time to of the new technology if you want me to explore or something like that. So you
mhm.
need to stand out over there saying that okay, I'm having some interest, I want to stand out of the group here.
Mhm.
So that's when your manager or the director whoever, they'll tend to see that you have some interest and then they try to give you some new uh,
And
technologies to work on.
yes, so for AI side, there are some limitation in the companies as well. They have a lot of security concerns. They don't allow to test or something
Mhm.
like that.
So So if you don't, I mean, do you want to learn apart from what company has? That's what you are trying to say?
No, my major question is, I am in the mid of the side. I'm interested in data engineering side as well as in AI side, but don't want to stay at data analytics side only.
Right.
Because
Data
if I see
analytics,
the future,
eventually data analytics will not be there anymore. Okay.
yes,
So data analytics, the AI will come up and say that, okay, in a prompt engineering, it says I'm connecting to the database and it will
mm,
just ask me a question saying that, okay,
yeah,
give me a visualization of how this particular, I mean, whatever report you're generating, right? Let's say I
yeah,
want the top 10 cities. Okay.
yeah,
It will just spit out the data. And
yes,
everyone is like, I will use it in Excel or whatever format. You can just ask it and it will give you in minutes, not even minutes. It
yes,
will be that fast down the lane. So for now, analytics is okay, but down the lane, it's the complete data full stack.
mm-hmm.
So that's what you need to be aware of. And that ML, that's where you need to start exploring. That's what I can suggest. Yeah.
Okay, so you are not like you are not guiding me to go through data engineering side. That is also going to be automated. Am I right?
Right, right. See, data engineering, first thing is data is needed, okay? You need to massage and
Yes,
all those things are
but
needed.
data is not
But
clean
once,
if you see.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So the thing is like now you are on analytics, right? Right away, means data engineering, you are going to spend time on it.
Hmm.
But later on, what will happen? There
Hmm.
will be like, okay, that is streamlined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, what will you do once all the jobs are done? The development is done.
Hmm. Yeah. Got your point. I yes.
So,
Right now it is concerned regarding like most of the people are moving to data engineering because data is not clean, and gradually you can see the data will be clean later on. Then
right.
maybe data engineering will
And
also
see,
be
the thing
needed.
is, learning is always good, and you have to change to the situation, right? We keep
Yeah.
on changing. We need to learn, keep on learning. But for you, from analytics side, first step is data engineering, and then to ML.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Anyone. See,
I guess
all the data engineering part, it's the same. Sorry, Vaishnavi, I am taking more time than needed.
No,
no, no,
that's all right.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. And I guess like we can also discuss these topics in like other specific groups. We have almost 50 plus groups, 70 plus groups, and each has an individual objective. Like for the AI, we have get AI development, get AI Microsoft ready. And for the data engineering, we have professional and experts like Ashok, who has mentored and guided many of the non-analytics or maybe which I can frame as non-IT, non-tech background students and guided them into the Azure data engineering, and they have successfully acquired jobs. And we also have heard many success stories and had webinars regarding these, discussing these success stories and how they face these challenges, how they overcome their challenges, and got their jobs in the Azure data engineering. And we have many experts, like for Power BI, we have Rishika Kale, and for SQL, we have Vishal, and also Aradhya for DevOps and everything else.
Wow.
So yeah, so if like whatever your query is or whatever your interest might be, you can always approach or always reach out to the global COE group, and you can raise your query there or maybe raise your interest there, and we'll provide you the uh, respective details or maybe share you the link to join the group and discuss your thoughts, or maybe you could also deliver sessions like all these experts if in whichever aspect you like. If you would like to deliver any session regarding any topic such as Excel, Power BI, or Power Platform, Azure, anything, feel free
So,
to
Prem,
share your knowledge. Yeah.
Prem, one quick question. Do you have any groups on AWS side?
Yeah, definitely. We do have them.
You have?
We do
Okay.
have them.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for some. I mean, I want to be in those groups on AWS side. I didn't see any invites anytime.
Yeah, sure. I'll share you my number, WhatsApp number here, or you can always, uh, you can anyway,
Okay, I'll
like you
ping
can
you.
share your query, yeah, query in the group which you are part of currently.
Okay.
Okay, and apart from this discussion, and we had very insightful and very interesting session today, Vaishnavi, and thank you as always for sharing your thoughts and also like breaking down. I like main benefit which I am acquiring from you and from this session, from like the book club sessions delivered by you is like I don't have to go through all the pain, or maybe I mean don't have to invest more of my time in this. Maybe you can break down every book for me, whatever book which I'm interested in. Yeah, but still, I would prefer reading books the hardcore. That is more uh, satisfying.
Yeah. That is the idea. And if you're not reading books, I'm here to help you because there's also a selfish reason for starting this. I want to start reading these non-fiction books that
Oh,
people are talking about. Yeah, that is why I started this. And yeah, this has been a great
yeah.
session. And yeah, Prem.
Yeah, I myself am like a fan of like intrigue and fiction-oriented books. So I have read few novels and few books regarding that in that genre. Yeah, but still, like this self-developing books are rather more, uh, which I can say, beneficial in the long run.
They are. I'm all that is debatable because I would get into an argument with you saying that fiction books are also helpful in the long run, but that is for another day. And
Yeah.
yeah, don't come at me like that. Yeah. So there. Thank you for
Yeah.
bringing in
Yeah.
your perspective. That was very helpful. We are happy to have you here, and Prajjot and Vicky. Thank you for staying here till the end. I think this is a good point to wrap the session. So feel free
Thank you.
to discuss
Thank
feel
you.
free to discuss in the group, and if you have any suggestions, feedbacks, or how you want me to take this on, I'm always open to the feedbacks. And thank you so much, Prem, for organizing this and bringing in your insights about the COE, which is always appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, Vaishnav and Prem. Thank you all.
Definitely.
Bye.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. And as always, I'll be troubling you one more again and again regarding these sessions. So be prepared for that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, I'm happy to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye,
Thank you everyone
everyone.
for joining.